Welcome to the HVAC Financial Freedom Podcast, a show where we talk about HVAC business ownership and financial freedom by sharing stories and advice of experts who can help you get there. Now your host, John Victoria.
Hello and welcome to the HVAC Financial Freedom Podcast, a podcast for HVAC business for business owners, where we talk about growing your business, building wealth, and really creating a legacy for yourself. And so I'm really excited because today we have a special guest for you, Mr. Nick Crow, who is a graduate from Salisbury University. He's graduated with a double major in marketing and management, as well as a minor in professional sales. After graduating, he now works with Federated Insurance, where he has completed his master's in commercial business insurance, specifically for contractors. And so really excited because he's been working with them for a number of years. And really, he's responsible for helping businesses of all size in the contracting space, one-man bands all the way to several hundred employees. And his goal and Federated's goal is to not just, work with their clients, but how do you protect them now and into the future? And so really excited to have you, Nick. How you doing?
John, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm going to try and make insurance as less boring as possible. I'm sure everyone's going to be super excited to see insurance and the title, and they're going to jump all over it. They always know that's the most exciting topic. But no, I appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to kind of talk through a couple of the questions you got for me and just chat, man. I'm excited.
I love that. So, maybe before we jump to your story, actually on that point that you mentioned, like what do you love about insurance? Like there's so many things out there that you could possibly work on. Why specifically insurance?
Man, that's a good question. So insurance can mean so many different things. Most people think, okay, insurance is simply, I have to have it. I have to use this to protect my house, my car, my family, my business, etc. It's used as a spread of risk to protect something. That's the best way to just simplify what insurance is. What I personally like about insurance is changing someone's mindset from it being, oh, this is a burden. This is something I have to do every single year. This is something that I'm required to have, to actually being able to change that mindset and truly turning it into being an asset for your business and using your insurance program, using your insurance company, using your insurance agent to help your business, whether that's from a risk management standpoint, whether that's from making sure that you have the best program that best fits you. And then it dives into the side of not just your business, but protecting your family, protecting future generations in your family, and then protecting future generations of your business. I mean, no business owner starts the business with the intent of this is going to fail. So that's my job. Every business owner has their CPA. They've got their financial advisor. I think an insurance agent is just as much of an asset to a business as anyone else that you may hire to help your business grow. So that really excites me. To sum that up is just to change the mindset of someone who looks at it as a burden and really shows them and introduces them how it can be an extreme asset to them and their business.
I see. Because it's like, you see that line item on your profit and loss, you're like, man, that's money that is not going into my pocket. But so it's kind of like you're saying, it's not just a liability, but it's like, what are you getting with that? And what can that do to set you up? Because life does not go the way that we expect, especially as a business owner. I mean, everyone who's listening to this, you could probably, starting your business, it probably wasn't the way that you thought it would be getting into it. And then life happens, and protecting yourself against those moments, like you want the dream to continue to go on, right? You don't want to get hit by this unexpected thing and boom, you're out of the game. And so that's why I wanted to have you on here, because it's such an important thing when considering your strategic planning for your business. 100%. And so, and before we just dive specifically into your insurance, so me and you, we first met, it was at a ACA event. It was the fall meetings. This was just a few months ago. And it was a great event. And you hosted a session. It was a lunch session. You were asking different questions for contractors to really think about, are they really thinking about their insurance and protecting their business in the right way? And then that got me thinking, well, how did you even get there? Like out of all, we met, like what happened before? Like, how did you get to where you are today?
100%. So I was the one kid in the world that grew up saying, I'm going to work in insurance. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody grows up wanting to be in insurance. Like you said, I went to Salisbury University. I knew I wanted to get into business. I'd always grown up wanting to be a business owner. My dad served in the military. Once he got out of the military, he started his own business. So from a very young age, I saw that entrepreneurship mindset and that spirit. I maybe just didn't have the skills that some of your listeners might be having to start an HVAC business. But what I really liked about Federated and why I jumped on board with Federated is because it kind of gives me the opportunity to run my own franchise, run my own business. I treat my clients, I treat my territory, I treat everything that I do as if it is my own franchise. And Federated treats me as if it is my own franchise. They give me the freedom to allow me to do what's best for myself and for my clients. So that's kind of why I got into the insurance world, because I didn't necessarily end up going the route of beginning to be my own business owner. But on the other turn, I get to help business owners, which in my opinion, especially contractors, which is what I specialize in. We were talking about it earlier. They are the bread and butter of this country. They are the most selfless, best people, and they're fun to work with. So it may not necessarily be the quote unquote insurance that's super exciting and why I got into it, but allows me to work with my favorite kind of people and still operate how I want to operate.
Amen to that. And well, first off, I want to say, happy Veterans Day to your dad.
Thank you.
Salutes off to him. And I think it's such a great entryway as well. It's like, you want to be a business owner, and then you're in this franchise treating your own business. And that's such an incredible thing, because it's this mindset of ownership, right? Taking care of your clients and really helping them succeed at a higher level. And so I guess as a spinoff from that, there's so many different places that you could possibly work at specifically for insurance. And so, there's all types of products out there. So could you tell us a little bit about Federated, but also like why you chose to work with them as the franchise?
Absolutely. So you mentioned we met at the ACCA event, the Air Conditioning Contractors of America. Federated partners with hundreds of different associations for our contractors. That's all we really specialize in from an insurance standpoint, are about 10 types of different industries, and the bread and butter for Federated are contractors. So one of the main reasons that I chose Federated over the thousands of different insurance carriers or companies out there is just how unique of a product that we truly do have. No other insurance carrier is going to give me the opportunity to walk in and go talk to hundreds of different ACCA members or a separate association member, PHCC, you name it, is going to give me a quote unquote sales rep that opportunity that Federated does. A big part of me for sales, because let's be honest, an insurance agent and business owners, we're all in sales. You have to stand behind your product. And there are so many different insurance products out there where I definitely couldn't say I necessarily stand behind. I'm not bashing anyone by any means, but I truly, truly, truly believe that Federated has the best to offer out there in the market. So it was really easy for me to jump 2 feet in and head first into being able to partner with Federated and say, yes, I'm going to represent you. Not only that, they invest a lot into their employees. So anytime I tell anyone that might be interested in taking a look at a Federated product compared to their current program that they have in place, just know that agent that you're working with is extremely knowledgeable in the industry. You had kind of hinted at it earlier. They send you up, every new employee, they send you up to headquarters for about 9 months to essentially get your master's in commercial insurance, to learn the HVAC industry, to learn the different contracting industries, and to learn Federated's product and what exactly is going to be the best solution to a problem. Overall, they invest, it's give or take about $250,000 into each employee throughout those 9 months to make sure that we are able to serve our clients the best. So Federated put a lot into me. So I want to be able to return that. And I just didn't see any other route from an insurance world that was going to invest that much. Why Federated is a little unique too, and I think you were going to kind of touch on this, and what gives me a huge advantage is we're what's called a direct marketer, which, to basically sum it up, it's basically like buying insurance from a retailer versus a wholesaler. So instead of you HVAC guys that are going out there and buying your products from a retailer, you buy from a wholesaler. I'm the only one that has access to Federated's product. I only represent Federated. I only sell Federated. It's not an agency that's a middleman that brokers it out to different carriers. So that gives our client to be able to have the direct relationship with the carrier, with underwriting, with the risk management team, with their certificate department. It just allows you to cut out the middle step. So all that just sounded perfect, and it just seemed like the perfect match for me to get in and be able to serve my clients the best, was to have Federated support me and be able to do that. So long-winded answer as to why I chose Federated, but that's exactly why.
No, and I just want to like highlight a few things that you said. First thing is that, there's like the saying, like, will you eat what you cook? You know what I mean? It's like the thing that you're offering, like, will you actually utilize it?
100%.
And it's hard to be in integrity, like in terms of what you're saying and what you feel internally. If, it's hard to, serve someone at the highest level if there's a disconnect there. And so it sounds like for you, like there is consistency in that way. And then second thing, which I love, common core value that Federated shares with ours is continuous self-improvement. The amount of money that is being put into each employee, $250K, that is astronomical.
There's nothing else like it.
And that's a beautiful thing, because the amount that they're pouring into you, that allows you to then pour into the businesses that you work with. And so I think that's incredible, right? They have the system, they have these great products, and also you are being improved at a very high level. And then the third thing I just wanted to pull at further was the fact that it's like a wholesale, right? You're not paying this huge markup by working with a company, and they got multiple products, and maybe they have a financial incentive to go for this product versus that. And so it sounds like that really does help. When a business owner is looking at this line item, it's not like there's not that bloat that's on it that might be coming from other
100%. And when we met at the ACCA event, they only choose Federated, and there's a reason for that, and it's because of the product. So it's not necessarily you're listening to a Federated agent sit there and tell you, well, we've got one of the best products around. It's no, we have these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of associations and thousands of clients that only recommend Federated. And I wanted to be a part of that. And I didn't want to be a part of a losing team. And quite frankly, it's paid off. So that's why I had the opportunity to meet you there. And that's why ACCA, I'm extremely grateful, and Federated is extremely grateful for everything that they do for us. And it's just a match made in heaven. It really is.
I love that. And maybe now what we could do is we should dive into some of the products or offerings that you guys have. I know that when we talked to the event, there was some interesting things that you were doing with, I think it was like tracking the trucks and, things like that. Could you maybe just what are some of the major pieces that would be relevant to an HVAC business owner?
Absolutely. So first off, whether you're with Federated currently or whether you're not, I encourage everyone to go out there and reach out to your agent if your agent isn't already reaching out to you about how your market is changing. The best example I can give you is as you could probably tell by the crab in the background, I'm local to the state of Maryland. So my clients are in the state of Maryland. So you have to be able to overcome and adapt to different challenges that may be occurring. For example, yesterday or the day before, Maryland just passed the process to begin legalizing recreational marijuana. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a big challenge in the workplace, especially for our contractors that have guys driving vehicles all over the place. Maybe don't currently have a drug-free program or a drug program in their workplace currently. And that opens them up to a lot of liability that needs to be communicated between them and their agent about exactly how that's going to be handled. So talk to your agent. To kind of hit on what you were talking about, John. Federated invests so much into their clients because, in turn, if you think about it from an insurance standpoint, we don't necessarily, we're there if we have to pay out the claims. That's what you pay insurance for. but it's a win-win on both ends when you don't have to. So we pride ourselves, and we always tell ourselves we're a risk management company first and an insurance company second. So we offer hundreds of different products. The one that you're hinting on that I talked about with the ACCA event is we give our clients free. It's this program. It's called telematics. It's not anything that's required, but it's something that's very unique. And it's essentially a chip that goes in the windshield of a vehicle, and it can monitor your drivers and your employees' speed, harsh braking, harsh turns. But the biggest thing that it kind of beats everything else in the industry is it allows you to determine if your employee is using their phone while operating the vehicle that has your name on the side of the van. Yes. That is the scariest thing, hands down, when I'm talking to my clients, is this is my company's name on the side of the van. If they're driving down the road, texting or on the phone, and they get into a car accident and they hurt, kill someone, God forbid, that's my name that's out there. So this is just something I always say, insurance is to allow our business owners to sleep more peacefully at night. And this is another product that our clients are utilizing to be able to do so. And our clients are doing some fun things with it. Hey, whoever has the best score at the end of 2 weeks, lunch is on me. Whoever has the best score. So it also allows you, because a lot of times what I see with my owners and my clients is sometimes they make the mistake of going at their employees only when there's something bad that's happened. How nice would it be to be able to use this to go to your employees and say, hey, man, great job. You got a 100% score on this past 2-week rolling period while driving. I really appreciate that. Here's a gift card on me. Take you and your significant other or kid, or so be it, out on me. I really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you. Wow. So again, outside from an insurance standpoint, it's just turning that insurance into an asset for your business. And every business owner will tell you, what's your biggest asset? It's your employee. Hands down, it's your employees. So
I love that. And I love that idea of gamifying it, and not just, like you said, always just finding the bad things that are happening, but finding the opportunity to find what they're doing well, things that they can be proud of, things that, they can be a role model to some of the other employees on the team and the other leaders. And I think that's really cool that you guys do that. And it's not only protecting them, but it's protecting the community also that they're serving, right? You got someone who's on their phone and, they hurt or God forbid, kill someone, like that would be horrible. And your company's on the names on the truck too. So it's like a double whammy. It's
100%. You mentioned earlier, that line item on the P&L of your insurance costs. Imagine what that number could look like if you didn't have these risk management resources, for how much more it could be costing you. There's no line item on a financial saying this is how much I had to pay out in a lawsuit because my employee was using a cell phone while operating a vehicle. So you want to talk about financial growth and financial stability for a business. You can't see how many lives you're saving as an insurance agent or from using risk management resources, but guarantee it, if you're utilizing them properly, you are saving hundreds, if not thousands of lives. And then in turn, selfishly saving your business money.
Yes. And I think that could be something that folks could be interested in. Like, if they were to understand, like, let's say they want to go to Federated and switch over, and like, how would they begin to understand these numbers, right? There's going to be the numbers that we can see, but then, like you said, there's this opportunity cost of protection of the threat of the things that are happening. So how would you typically walk through with someone like, hey, this is kind of what you might be investing, but then this is kind of like really what you're saving, like it's protection for the future. How would you, I guess, walk through some of those numbers with them?
That's a great question. The first thing I always like to do is what's called a loss analysis, looking over maybe their previous claims and exactly how they can be preventable. Not every single claim is preventable, but there are a lot of claims out there that can be preventable. And then looking at the different things that Federated can do on our end to make it so those claims either go away or lessen a little bit. The biggest thing, and the most frustrating thing that I hear from my contractors, is often their problem with and confusion, unfortunately, with workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is huge for contractors, and every single contractor is going to know exactly what I'm talking about here. And usually their skin crawls when they hear it, but it's called an experience modification. And I'm getting really insurance deep and kind of nerdy right now, but basically to sum it up, it's a multiplier that your state sets. The more work comp claims you have, the higher that number is. The less work comp claims you have, the lower that number is. There are some things that you should talk to your insurance agent, whether that's Federated or your current insurance agent. If your current insurance agent doesn't have an answer for you, I highly encourage you to reach out to either me or your local Federated representative to get answers, because they'll be more than happy to help you. But there's ways that you can take those workers' compensation claims and reduce that experience modification simply by just doing a loss analysis. Hey, here's what you have right now versus what could happen. And in turn, that saves you hundreds of thousands of dollars throughout the year. To sum it up, loss analysis is the first thing. The second thing that you can do is, and it's very, very, very under the surface, it's not surface level at all, is how are you treating your current employees? How's your turnover looking from an employee standpoint? Because we all know the cost to hire and train new employees. Yes. It hurts. When you lose an employee to a competitor down the street that's offering an extra $1 an hour, and we all know that there's employees out there that do that, that hurts, because the cost to then turn around and train them. Federated's got plenty of key man policies, key employee policies, just retention policies. And again, not just Federated, talk to your current agent if they have anything like that, because there are so many different avenues that you can take that I challenge all my business owners to do the extra step. To maybe it seems like you're giving the employee more than you necessarily should, but in the long run, it ends up saving you way more money, and you get way more in return by keeping that employee. So there's so many different avenues that you can take, from loss analysis to employee retention, but it's very important to dive into all those avenues. And again, to use your current insurance program, insurance agent, for more than, oh, I had a car accident, let me turn this claim in and get a check back for it.
Like that. And I guess maybe what are some of the typical things? So you mentioned car insurance, you mentioned about, key employees leaving. Are there some other things that are common claims that have to be made that policies protect someone against, that are pretty common in the contracting space, you'd say?
So especially in the contractor world, at least in my area, tools are expensive, man. Tools are crazy expensive right now. And I see a lot of theft with tools. That's a big deal. You want to ask your agent exactly how that's covered. But fortunately, I mean, we're right around the corner from 2023. A big thing that's happening and impacting the world right now are cyber claims. Cyber issues are blowing up right now with stealing your customers' information, your clients' information. And you want to make sure that your insurance program protects you enough for those defense costs, for those claims that have to be paid out, for the money that you might end up losing because you're dealing with this claim. And I hear it all the time. Well, I use a third-party database to keep my clients' information. I don't have to worry about it. Do you? Do you not have to worry about it? You think that client knows that you're using a third-party database? You're getting drawn in whether you like it or not.
Yes.
And you're going to have to pay defense costs. So do you want to pay it, or do you want to make sure that your insurance program, is adequately covering you to make sure that you don't have to worry about it? So I challenge everyone, talk to your current agent, make sure it's a program that works specifically for you. Insurance should not be a cookie cutter, one size fits all. It should be specifically tailored to you and your business.
And building off that too. So we talked earlier about looking at insurance as an asset versus a liability. And I think there's two pieces that also can make it even more of an asset. Number one, it's the person that you work with, right? There's of course the direct, working with them on their insurance. And the second thing is, you can use your insurance program potentially to help market yourself as well. So could you speak to those two benefits? Because really, I think folks can be very one-dimensional. It's like, this, I'm paying this, and claims and emergencies, but you're adding someone to your team, and you're adding something to your marketing department as well. So I want to dive into that as well, because it's like these invisible benefits that help you turn something from being a liability to, hey, this is really helping us.
100%. So what I see all the time that really separates some of my clients from maybe the other clients is exactly like you said, utilizing that insurance program to market yourself. What I mean by that, we just talked about that employees are the biggest asset for a business. A business owner's most important factor to being profitable in their business is having employees and successful employees. And part of that means recruiting. You can use your insurance program to entice individuals to come work for you. What I mean by that, you can put on your website for anyone doing any research on you. Hey, I'm offering these benefits such as, a life insurance program, a disability program for my employees, bonuses for my employees on top of the traditional, here's your hourly pay, here's a 401k, here's some health benefits. Not a lot of contractors out there that I see are going that extra step to invest in the extra life disability. But not only that, use your risk management programs to help train your employees. Hey, come work for me. I'm going to invest more time, more money in for you to get better at your craft, to get better at what you're going to do. That's ultimately going to end up making you more money in the long run if you come to work for me versus Joe Schmo down the street. Does that make sense?
No, and it kind of reminds me of what a friend's another business owner talking to me about this myth that no one wants to work. And we want to say this directly to people looking for people to work, but it's like, it's not that no one wants to work, it's that no one wants to work for you. Yeah. And so I think the challenge, right? It's like these benefits, they're key, right? People now that, we have flexibility and, travel, living in different places and choosing where we want to work, especially with this new generation of workers, man, we got to cover the basics. We have to make the place that they work like they're spending their life there. And these benefits are a great way to attract, in addition to like the culture and the opportunities for growth and feeling like their opinion is valued. But 100%. Like to your point, it's like you're stacking these things that some people just won't offer, and they're like, wow, why does no one want to work for me? Well, it's because you're trying to do the bare minimum for them.
Absolutely.
And that's the hard conversation that we have to have with ourselves. Like really think about, hey, are we doing the best that we can for our employees?
And everyone thinks you're the best. It's natural. Everyone thinks that, my business is better than that business. I have nicer logos on my van than the guy down the street. But I challenge every single business owner. And in fact, I learned this extremely, extremely successful rep in New Jersey. Her name is Leslie Konzik. And I know any contractor that's probably listening to this in New Jersey knows exactly who she is. She did a podcast and I listened to it, and it kind of made me realize that, hey, I might need to go and challenge my clients a little bit more. She challenges all her clients, and I encourage all of you, and I'm going to challenge you. Go out there if you're recruiting and do more than just Glassdoor. Get out there, go to colleges, set up a booth, go recruit, put your name out there, be different. You're only going to get in return what you put out. If you think just putting out a Glassdoor ad saying, hey, this is how much I'm going to be paying hourly if you come work for me, the person only came to work for you because of the hourly rate. I guarantee you, give it a couple months, not a year, someone offers them another $1, they're going to go chasing it the same way. You want to go out there, you want to put yourself out there, be different, and recruit the exact people that you want in return, which I know it always sounds so much. It's definitely harder done than said. Yes. I 100% understand that. So I know all of you are sitting here like, oh, easy for the insurance agent to say, but I really do challenge you. I really do.
Yes, and that's it. It's going that extra step. It's a more competitive market. People have choice. This is a different generation of workers that are emerging. Yes. Demographic shifts. A lot of folks are aging out, retiring, and the new worker completely different than what was here 50 years ago. And
everyone wants to work at home, and you can't do that as a contractor. Mm-hmm. So you got to be really, really, really creative in how you attract and retain employees.
Of that. So I guess in terms of transitioning, we met at an association event, and like Federated, you work with a lot of different associations. one of the things that I like to share with folks is the power of the mastermind, or the power of surrounding yourself with people who are much further ahead than you, who have accomplished things that you want to accomplish. There's just something about being around others who have done that where it opens up possibilities for you. And so, you having worked with a number of associations as well, a number of them, serving contractors, could you speak to the value of that? Because I feel like that could be one of the things that could be holding people back, not wanting to go to the event or fly out. I'm already busy in the business. Could you talk to the value of being a member of an association?
Yeah, it's easy to make excuses to say, I'm too busy to do this. I'm too busy to do that. Something I learned, and one of the greatest sayings that I try and live by, is the best things in life are on the other side of fear. Putting yourself out there, meeting new people. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be speaking with you, John, right now if we didn't have the opportunity to network. I always tell people, why not join an association? You're already in so much competition being a contractor. There's so much competition out there. Why not be a part of a group that allows you to feed off of ideas, that allows you to have the competitive advantage from the guy down your street that may not be a part of the association? Everyone inside of an association wants each other to grow, wants each other to do better. And someone might be doing something that you thought was a really good idea that you had never heard of before, that you would never know if you weren't part of an association. It's an investment. It's an investment into yourself. It's an investment into your business. I think associations are fantastic, and it allows you the opportunity to not have to have the headache of, well, who do you think is the best for this? Or maybe I should reach out to this person to figure out, who the best supplier is, or who the best insurance company I'll use as an example for my fit. The association can help you with that. You have hundreds of members that are giving different opinions that you can make a decision off of. It's only a benefit to you is what I'll say. And it's an investment, and it's an investment that's worth it.
Yes. And it's just right. People, they just open up your eyes to things, like you said, you never considered, or these resources that are out there. And you never know, the power of one relationship can drastically change someone's life.
Absolutely.
Definitely happens to myself. You meet someone, they're like, wow, he's doing that. I could see myself like in him and possibly doing that in the future. It just changes your mindset around things. Okay. And so because I do want to talk a little bit about mindset, and I think we're trending towards that. But before we do, anything else with insurance that is important for contractors to consider, whether it be challenges, opportunities, questions to ask their current provider? What are some of the things that we might be missing that we should make sure to share with folks?
I think, unfortunately, a big aspect to insurance that's missed a lot, that some people may not even know is available through their insurance agent, is to start beginning the process of preparing for life after I retire. What's going to happen with my business in the future? Do I want employee kids to take over? Do I want to sell my business? Do I want to just continue in this business until the day I die? It's extremely important to have a plan. And that is also an aspect of insurance: business succession, estate planning, making sure that everything is in order. And I encourage you, if you haven't already, to talk to your current insurance agent to make sure that all that is lined up. Because unfortunately, we all know the statistics: second generation businesses 99% of the time fail. And the transition from first generation business to second generation business is usually the main reason that those businesses do fail. Nobody started their business again to fail. And a lot of individuals start their business, especially that have family in it, to want their family to continue to reap the rewards of what they started. Talk to your insurance agent to be able to make sure that you do have that plan lined up. Because everyone thinks about what am I going to do if my building burns down, or what am I going to do if my car crashes and I can't get to work, or I can't go out to the house and operate. But nobody seems to think about, okay, what am I going to do with my business in the next generation, the next step of life? And oftentimes when they do decide to look at it, it's a little too late. So I encourage everyone to get on it sooner rather than later. It's never a fun topic. It's never something that's exciting, but it's something that's extremely, extremely important.
And I guess now transitioning to, talking more about mindset, you've worked with a number of contractors, and I'm just curious, like, is there anything that you've noticed in terms of mindset for the contractors that seem to, there's like some folks that are stuck at a certain level, and it could be a year, it could be 5 years, 10, it could be 20 years. But then you run into these contractors where they're like a rocket ship, right? They just seem to grow and they just think a different way. I'm curious if you could speak to anything related to mindset and how they look at the world, because I think that would be really valuable to the people that are listening.
I love this question. I have clients that I walk into and it's the end of the world every time I walk in and meet with them. Everything is going wrong. Everything's bad. Doom and gloom.
Chicken Little syndrome. Like, the sky's falling.
Nobody wants to work for me. I can't get this client. This didn't work out. And then I have those clients that no matter how bad it may be, they don't let you know that it's bad. And they always have that positive attitude. They always have that mindset that, okay, I may have hit a road bump here, but the next day is going to be even better. And those 100% of the time are the clients that are succeeding. I mentioned this earlier, but my contractors that I work with are the most selfless individuals in this country. They would rather make sure that their employees and their families have food on their table before they have food on their table. A lot of them forget to take care of themselves. And that, whether that be because they're trying to grow their business, but in turn, sometimes that can really defeat an individual, and it can defeat a client to the point where they may not want to continue with that industry or with their business. To answer your question, just have a positive attitude no matter what's going on. Nobody's job is perfect. Nobody's going to have 365 days out of the year profit or good things happening to them, but don't give up on yourself. Don't be negative around any other individual, because that just spreads negativity. Do you want to be around anyone that's negative? No, you want to be around positive people. And that's what I try and do with my clients too. I try and be as positive as possible, try and make sure that they're as happy as possible, and that they're having as good of a time as they possibly can. We all have lives outside of work. Nobody lives to work. You work to live.
Yes. Work to live. I love that. And man, I love that. It's like life's tough enough. It's like, why not come at it with a positive attitude? You have, especially if you have a team, like you are leading a group of people, and things will roll down. So if you feel bad, you're passing it down to your team, and many times they'll take that home with them. And so be a shining light with positivity.
Absolutely.
Of that. So I think we're coming to the close pretty soon, but anything else that you want to make sure that you share with contractors, whether it's considering insurance, whether it's considering just like mindset, and just making sure they're moving forward? Lots of changes, like you said, like in the state of Maryland, right? The marijuana legalization, there's lots of things that are moving. Anything else that you want to make sure that folks are aware of?
I just want to sum it all up. Just go out there, whether it's your federated agent or a different agent, go out there and make sure that you're communicating with them. You're on the same page with them about how your industry is changing locally and nationally, because I'm telling you, if you don't keep up, it'll pass you by. And your agent should be an employee for you, just like your accountants should be an employee for you, just like your lawyer should be an employee for you. Your insurance agent should be doing the same thing. That line item that we mentioned in the beginning that's on a financial, that should not be looked at as a liability. It should be looked at as an asset. Your employees are your most important assets. Treat your insurance program and your insurance agent like an employee, like an asset, and make sure that they're keeping up with you on everything that you should be knowledgeable on.
Of that. Yeah. Your insurance, I think, just to sum, like, your insurance should be an asset, not a liability, or your insurance should be an asset, not a liability. And if it's a liability, it's either it's a perspective thing, or it genuinely is not an asset.
It's not a good match for you. It may not be a good match for you. Every business is different. Every business is unique, and your insurance program should fit your business. Not every insurance company is meant for this, for your industry. Not every industry is meant for an insurance company. You got to find the insurance company that works best for you and the insurance agent that is going to be the best help for you and your business.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nick, it was such a pleasure having you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This was a ton of fun.
It's so much fun. I love talking mindset, all this stuff. And so thank you everyone for watching or listening in. Just as we close, just want to say that, the HVAC Financial Freedom Podcast is sponsored by Pollyanna, digital marketing agency that focuses on HVAC contractors, specifically focusing on SEO and website development. So need any help? We got, free audits that are going, so feel free to reach out and let us know. But as always, thank you for joining us for the podcast. The purpose of this is to help you to build, the life of your dreams. And many times that also comes with that is protecting it. So this is why I thought that this conversation would be perfect. How do you protect your wealth? How do you protect your business, in the immediate day, but also after you are gone? And so we got to think big, got to think legacy. And Nick, I appreciate you so much for being here, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know, and I'm sure a lot of contractors didn't know, and you're being a big help to them. And
absolutely.
So thanks so much. Appreciate everyone. And we will catch you on the next episode. All right. Take care, everyone.